Howdy, 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 and welcome back once again to the Withlacoochee River Report, where you will be highly offended by my compelling rhetoric. Well, another day at Dana's. It's the November show. For those of you wondering, yes, there will be another Regal show come in this month, also on the 22nd, 2 weeks from today. It'll be at the Hernando County Fairgrounds. Moved a little bit today, but not much. Now, there's my tables. How to get away from that HO gauge stuff, but sometimes it just moves too well. Again, this month we seem to have had a lot of Lionel and O gauge here. John's tables.
You had a prostate surgery?
Years ago, there was one where they sent something up, and they took it, pulled it, feeder so you could pull it from the room.
Looks like dead fish.
Mm-hmm. Live fish.
Live.
Not cooked.
Not ooh.
Yeah.
Here. I try to do no fish.
I don't do red meat.
Oh, I live on that.
I can cook it, I can cook. I don't eat pork, I don't eat bacon, I don't eat anything like that. I don't eat meat. I eat a little bit of chicken, a little bit of fish. Drank a lot of back in the day, so.
Drank a lot back in the day?
Oh yeah. I used to drink 13 Jack and Cokes a night at the bar.
How did you get home?
I drove. I was completely sober. I've never been drunk in my life,
Damn.
but I've drank my whole life.
Well, that probably is why you were probably resistant to it.
Yeah, I'm probably pickled.
Yeah.
Pickled in Jack. What night? Oh, two. That was worth coming down.
Thank you.
Yeah, but no, between.
Shit, that's not bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you made $45 in gas. I got $4.60 in gas. I'll cable on that quarter. Then cut the corners off.
I've got mine priced exactly the same as you do.
Get it going.
Did you move any freight cars today at all?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I moved a few. I moved a few of my $1 ones.
I was doing them 4 for 10, and I got like 8 of these empty.
I was able to empty one. Oh.
Yeah, they are. Very nice.
Looks like they did okay today. All right. Well, only to have the IRS find you.
Honestly, if Landry said it never even run other than me servicing it and running it for 30 minutes after service to make sure it ran well.
Switches in our entertainment up there for those industries. Everything's wired and in. It's just gotta get this set and then put in because we have some. I have some electric uncoupling ramps and
Yeah, you see, you want some more choo-choos?
so we can drop off the car. Needless to say, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just use electronic uncoupling. You do that.
Yeah, you see your people?
Yeah. The older Katie's aren't the square blocks. They're like, oh my God.
There it is.
Safety rails on your bridge. You have the inside. You got your regular track rail.
Yes.
They're older electric switches were separate little
Remember,
bars
look with their eyes.
on either side of
Yep.
the rail that drop wires down to a coil underneath the track. And when you obviously push a button or do whatever, it activated and made a magnetic field just between the rails.
Okay.
So you didn't have, now these are only just wooden road crossings, but we have one of them here, like this is more, there's some of their newer standard ones are using, or their electric ones are square, this side, but you have to cut a 1.5 by inch hole into the layout and underneath the amount of hole, it's a really, more of a, in a way, nightmare. Their older way would seem to be a little bit more, and it was reliable. I mean, it wasn't any fancy gizmos or this and that. I mean, it worked, their new one works. But it makes noise. You really hear. Well, howdy, and welcome back to the actual railroad itself. It's now Sunday, November 9th, 2025, for those of you that are keeping track, which is just about all of us. I'm going to show you what I got at the show yesterday. As you can see, I got a 50-foot Burlington route boxcar. Put out by Pecos River Brass. No, I did not pay no $39 for it. I got it for considerably less than that. My buddy Kevin sold it to me. He started doing a lot of what Zitnik does, only he's dealing with much more pricier stuff. He had a $10 table. He had a $5 table, a $10 section, and $15 section, 20, and then culminating on a $25 section. Then he had some that was priced as marked, which I think he had like one set of cars there he sold for $100. Again, it's like a lot of the other shows. You get, you know, you're expecting more, but it just doesn't seem like the customers are there. And, you know, I understand the economy is kind of in a shambles right now, which is bad in and of itself, but it doesn't help when the proprietor of the nearby hobby shop that's sponsoring it doesn't do that much to actually bring customers in. Some of the other guys sold a little bit. I sold a little bit, but not much. The show just wasn't that great yesterday. And it seems like it's, you know, I realize next month is Christmas month. And that should be a fairly decent month for Dana. And it should be a decent month for all of us that go out there. But I can't say that we will all be... I may not even bother with next month's show. We do have another show coming up in a couple of weeks. It's over here on US 41 South in Brooksville. It's also called Broad Street. It'll be at the Hernando County Fairgrounds. It'll be a Regal show. Usually those shows are pretty good, even for a small timer like me. I just wonder if I can get me a table or not. He's probably sold out by now. So anyway, I got that there Pecos River Brass boxcar, and also picked up another building. I got that building for a whopping $10. Not bad. It's a good looking building. I believe it's one of Lionel's kit buildings. And one of the rain gutters fell off. I'll have to put that back on. I'm going to also do what the late Malcolm Furlow used to tell you to do when you just couldn't get your plastic buildings to look realistic enough. Paint the building. Yeah, this was definitely a kit-built structure. Now this one, unlike that Atlas station, this one was built fairly well. And it's good and tight, and I believe it was Lionel that made this one. But it definitely needs a paint job, and so we will be doing some of that, possibly on Monday Night Madness. Pecos John Smith, of Pecos River Brass. We always called him Pecos John on the old O-Trains list. These were brought in, oh gosh, about the mid-2000s. You know, about 2005, 2006. Might have even been 2007. You got to remember we had an economy beginning to falter there. And that's how Obozo got elected. These are really pretty nice cars for what they are. They're not over detailed. They're pretty simple cars. They came both built up and as kit-built cars, or you could build them as a kit. The original price tag on these cars that John had put on them was $50 a piece. And if you bought it in kit form, it was a whole whopping $45. Not overly in this day and age, but in 2005, that was a lot of money to be putting out. And let's face it, you know, Pecos John lost his backside on him. Nobody was going to pay that for a plastic car in those days. You know, the kits just weren't going for that. I think the Atlas cars were, averaging about $40 at the time, and those were Atlas. And John thought he could get in on the kick and bring that about. And well, he didn't have the financial backing, I take it, and probably went into debt over it. And that's what killed his business. I mean, most of us were sorry to see John go. He even sold off all of his personal trains. But John could be a curmudgeon sometimes. Let's face it. I remember I went and he had a whole bunch of listings of his personal rolling stock on eBay. And so I went ahead and grabbed one right away. It was a 57-foot mechanical refrigerator, Santa Fe. Beautiful car. It was a Weaver model. Beautifully detailed car. No question of that. I had purchased it, and I'd already gone. I was getting ready to go through the process, but I thought, I'm going to ask him a question. And because he had a bunch of them on eBay, I said, hey, John, do you take and, combine the packaging to... save a little money on the shipping? And he wrote me back a nasty gram, said, no, I do not. If you can't afford the shipping, you don't need to be. Okay. So I just bought the one car, and I said, well, to heck with you. So that was the last time I dealt with him. I haven't seen hide nor hair of him anywhere online anymore. I actually know him personally. I actually have met him at the Austin Model Railroad Jamboree in Austin, Texas, and the San Antonio Model Railroad Jamboree in San Antonio. Met him back during the 1980s. I actually bought a little bit of brass from him back in those days. All rolling stock. Nicely done stuff. Mostly what I picked up back then was Pennsylvania stuff. But he'd generally have a table set up, or a couple of tables set up at the shows, our local shows, which was pretty decent of him. And he would consider, seriously taking less money for certain things, like brass locomotives even, in O scale, no doubt. Anyway, that's the car that did the Pecos River Brass. It kind of took them out of the running on a forever basis there, because he hasn't been back since. The cars are nicely detailed. They've got a lot of added-on detail. But one thing they don't have is a lot of underbody detail. That's just a metal plate there. It's got this added to it, but that's about it. And of course it says made in China. And if you open the door, there's no wood decking detail in there either. But the car, I got it for a lot less than the $50 price tag that it originally had on it. So I can't complain. I don't know if that's supposed to be a freight house or some kind of a machine shop or something of that nature. It's got a couple of freight doors. And I'm thinking, I've got to paint the building. The previous owner put a different kind of loading dock on it. He scratch built that, and he didn't do a bad job on it. I'm going to go ahead and probably run track up to it over maybe on this section of the layout here, and I'm not going to have it actually be able to switch right off the bat. I don't think I'll, unless I can get my hands on a bunch more switches. But I'm going to have it. I'm just going to use it as a place to kind of store certain cars at, that sort of thing. So anyway, that's my big haul from the show yesterday. It was nice to actually get a little bit of money together. I'm still, I did not work for the entire week before the show. And like I said, evidently nobody else did either, because they just didn't have the money to buy anything. And I'm selling freight cars for $1 a piece. You know. Dang. So we'll get this thing going here, before too long. So let's kind of take a look and see what we can do about getting that boxcar on a train here. Yep, there's no question that John had made a beautiful car there. Now, he made it in many different road names, but it was really only one 50-foot boxcar that he ever brought in, and this was it. He had them made in China. Like I said earlier, he had offered them both in kit and built up. I imagine he brought the bulk of them in built up. There was only about a $5 difference in the price tag between the built up. And I remember that these were priced right at $50. It was a brand new mold at the time, so that's probably had some to do with why it possibly caused him to fail. Having brand new molds made, even in China, you don't get a break on that. You don't get a break just because the molds are new. Yeah. You don't get any breaks on that. It's just as expensive to have molds made there, but at least there, and I hate to say it, and this is why, this is primarily the reason that Lionel moved on over to, I got mouse droppings in here. Great. Just what I needed. Anyway, a lot of people think that you get cheap labor. Not always. Your tool and die makers over there, they just as expensive as they are in the States. The problem Lionel ran into when they wanted to get a simple mold made, it couldn't be done because the people involved in this country just couldn't get it right. They couldn't get it to the point where Lionel wanted it to be. And so they thought they'd give a mold maker in China a try, and they got everything they wanted. Well, with any business, that's gonna clinch it. Now, I've often said that, yes, it could have been made in the United States. It should have been made in the United States. But it wasn't. And your typical freight car then, even at that point, Weaver was still producing in the U.S. So, to say that it couldn't be made in the U.S., well, maybe the tool and die work couldn't be made in the U.S., yet Weaver was able to find somebody to do it. Don't know why Lionel couldn't. But, yeah, I'm happy with the boxcar. And maybe this week sometime, if we don't have too much in the way of bad weather coming through, because it looks like we're going to have some freezing weather come Monday night. So, in fact, today it's in the 70s. Tomorrow it's probably going to stay right at 59 or 60 at the highest. And then it's supposed to really drop down to freezing Monday night. So it's going to be cold. No question of that. But I think it's time to get around to doing some more Weathering 101. And let's see, those bright box cars there and that bright orange caboose on the end are telling me I need to do something. And I need to do it pretty darn quick. So hopefully tomorrow, which is Monday, the 10th, I'm hoping I can at least get some of that started and done. And from that point, we'll see where we go. I've always loved those Burlington 50-foot box cars. I had them, I used to have years ago, I used to have one that was put out by Athearn. It was one of those, wood box car kits with metal siding, roof, and ends that you actually nailed onto the car. Similar to some of the 40-foot cars I've got, like that one there. That one's one of those kits that's wood and metal. So, anyway, we're going to run a train for a little bit and get this car some break-in time. Okay, maybe not much break-in time, but some break-in time. So, okay. Well, we'll get to see the car roll for the first time. Whoops. Oh, I knocked that one right off, didn't I? Oh, that kind of just breaks my heart. There we go. All righty. I'd say it's a pretty good looking car. Now let's make it go. I'm liking it. Yep. We've got a bunch of future projects there for some weathering 101, don't we? Well, I'll tell you what. Till next time, happy railroading.